Hello and welcome to another episode of Portside Conversations. I'm Laura Lee Shapiro, the owner of Where to Next Agency, and I'm super excited because today's Portside Conversation is actually coming to you from the Port of Amsterdam. I am sitting here on board the beautiful Scenic Opal with my business partner from Scenic Cruises. This is Jill Nova. Welcome, Jill.
Thank you, Laura Lee. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. We are here in Amsterdam attending the ASTA River Cruise Expo, which has over 1,500 travel agency owners and travel advisors like myself, and 16 different river cruise ships, all tied together in the Port of Amsterdam. And we will get to eat and sleep and experience all these different brands to make sure that we are matching up my clients with the right cruise, because cruising is not a one size fits all. So thank you again, Jill, for being here. We are going to learn a little bit about Scenic as a brand, but first tell me a little bit about Jill. How did you end up in the role that you are currently serving with Scenic Cruises?
Well, I started out just like you. I was an agency owner, so I owned my own agency for 12 years, and then I decided to come over to the supplier side.
Okay.
Some say the dark side, but I disagree. But came over to the supplier side. I was very familiar and sold Scenic to my clients, so I knew the brands and loved the brands. So I came, Scenic was the first stop that I made, and here I am. I've been with Scenic for 2.5 years as the regional sales director for the Southwest. So that's why we are partners together.
Yeah, we're based in Texas.
Yes, so that's my story, a little bit in a nutshell.
Awesome. That's so wonderful to hear. So now you have one ship here at the River Cruise Expo. We are sitting on the Scenic Opal.
Yes.
How many river cruise ships does Scenic have in total?
So we currently have 13 on the rivers now.
Okay.
And the Scenic as a brand. We have the Scenic Group is our parent company, and we have two brands within that, Scenic and Emerald. So we have our one Scenic ship here, Scenic Opal, which we're sitting here today in the Royal Panorama Suite. I think this is my favorite suite. It's at the very back of the ship, 475 square feet. Wow. My favorite. I love this one. And Emerald Luna is right next door. So we have one of our Emerald ships next door. You'll have to visit when you're tomorrow. So yes, that's Scenic. 13 sailing right now. We've just made an announcement that we're building a new ship on the Douro. Okay. So that's coming. We literally just announced that 3 days ago. So that's hot news. You'll get it before. You'll get it tomorrow.
Did you hear that? She's spilling the tea.
So yes, that's where we are today. That's river ships. We also have ocean ships, discovery yachts, or ultra luxury discovery yachts. We have two, Scenic Eclipse 1 and 2, and we have a third coming, Scenic Icon, coming in 28.
Okay, awesome. Now, your ocean ones, how many passengers are on those? Because I know the river cruise ones, most of them, they're pretty much all the same footprint. It's really just a difference in the decor and the level of service. They're all about 150 passengers. How do the ocean ones differ for you guys?
So I will back it up to river really quickly, because this is very important. This kind of sets us apart from most of the other river cruise lines. At Scenic, we purpose build all of our ships on the river and on the ocean. So because of that, we own two shipyards, one in Croatia, one in Vietnam. Our river ships are built in Vietnam, purpose built for the river they sail. So I get back to that because they fluctuate from 68 passengers to a max of 160. Okay. So depending on the river, the Douro requires a smaller ship that could only be 68 people, up to 160, which will be the larger ships like we're on today is the Opal on the Rhine, Main, and Danube. They can take those larger ships. Right. On the ocean side, our discovery yacht, Scenic Eclipse and Scenic Eclipse 2 are 228 passengers. Okay. And then Icon, the new one coming, will be 270. Okay.
So it's still a small ship.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And where will they be sailing?
So Scenic Eclipse 1 and 2 are purpose built for the polar region. So 70% polar cold water, 30% warm. The new Icon will still be built for the cold, so she can still handle the cold, but she'll only be 30% warm. The rest will be 30% cold, 70% warm. Okay. So they circumnavigate the world. So we're in South America, we're in Fiji, we're in Costa Rica, we're in the Med, we're in Greece, those ships go everywhere.
Okay. Now you mentioned cold, you mentioned the polar region. Have you done one of those Antarctica trips?
No,
Okay.
I have not.
So you haven't done the polar plunge yet?
I have not. And I'm not sure. Okay, you have to do that, but I wouldn't be happy about it. But I can do it to get it off the bucket list.
Yeah. No, this girl's born and raised in Canada. I don't need to go jumping in the polar water. I know cold water. I'm good. Thank you.
You should be a natural at that, though.
No. I left Canada 30 years ago because I don't like the cold. But I do want to do an Antarctica. I want to do the shake break. I want to experience all of that. My biggest challenge is going to be when I see penguins. I'm going to want to run up and hug them, and I know you're not allowed to. So
we're very respectful, and it's so interesting. And
I would respectfully hug them.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they're not afraid of humans, and that's the beautiful because they've never been hunted. Yeah, and they're looking at us, just we're looking at them. Right. But they're not afraid of humans. So
do you think they want to hug me as much as I want to hug them?
I think they do. I think you should try Literally.
So as far as the rivers, that's interesting that your ships are purpose-built for the rivers, because I know there's a huge difference between, the Rhine and the Mekong and the Danube and the Nile. You've been with them 2.5 years, you said. How many rivers have you done, and do you have a favorite?
That's a funny and interesting question, because I have sailed the Danube 5 times.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the only river I've been on since I've been here. So this is my first time on the Rhine. So as a favorite, I have to say I love the Danube because that's what I've been on. But I do love the Danube, and I think the Danube and the Rhine, great for first-time river cruisers. Right. I would always start with those. I'm partial to the Danube because I've sailed it so many times. Right. It's just, there's so many fascinating stories along that route and the itinerary. You travel through 4 countries in a matter of 7 days. You unpack once. You have your butler in your cat, which we have not even talked about.
We're gonna get back to the butler. But for those that are watching this, because not everybody has done river cruising, which is why I'm doing these videos. A lot of people know the Rhine. They know the Christmas markets. Everybody hears the Rhine, the Rhine, the Rhine.
Yes.
Tell us where the Danube is and what are the 4 countries that you touch on, because not everybody wants to do the Christmas markets in the Rhine. So the Danube is obviously very popular and a good option, you said, for first-time river cruisers. Yes. So tell us about the Danube.
And I will say the Danube also does Christmas markets. So the Danube, which I think there's even more on the Danube. Okay. So Danube and the Rhine does Christmas markets. But the Danube, you will start or finish, depending on your route, in Budapest and end in Regensburg. So you'll hit Austria, you'll hit Germany, you'll hit a little tiny bit of Croatia along the line there. Okay. Austria, Germany, what am I missing? Hungary. Okay. And a little bit of Croatia, and even depending if you're doing the lower Danube, you'll hit Serbia as well. So we have an upper Danube and a lower Danube itinerary. Okay. So, and you can even do those back to back and make a 14-night sailing if you want to do the entire. Okay.
Because it's never the same twice, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, Portugal is hot.
Yes.
Super, super hot. If you're looking for what's new up and coming, Portugal, top of the list. So let's talk about, you guys are in Portugal as well,
yes,
correct?
As a matter of fact, Glenn Maroney, who is the owner of the Scenic Group, we were the first river cruise line to sail the Douro.
Really?
So because of that, we have the best docking position along the Douro. So if you're looking at Douro, you should definitely look at Scenic and Emerald. So our Scenic and Emerald ships have the best docking position. We just announced, I think I mentioned it just a second ago, we are building 2 new ships for the Douro, one on Emerald and one on Scenic. Right. So we will now have 2 ships on Emerald, 2 ships on Scenic sailing the Douro.
Oh, okay, so it is
very popular and it sells out very quickly. We are building 2 new ships to accommodate.
I'm sure. Now, how far out do you guys establish your itineraries? I know with the ocean cruises, it's usually, 18 to 24 months they start releasing.
Yes, so our ocean product will release quicker than the rivers. Okay. The itineraries don't change from year to year. It's just the dates fluctuate. Right. So you can always have an idea of which itineraries are going to be where, because they pretty much stay the same every year. Right now, we are just about, you can book 27, obviously, and 28 will be released soon. So right now, we can book through 27 and some 28. First quarter of 28 just was released.
Okay. Yeah. So you touched on real quick, you said the word butler. And I've done another podcast, Portside Conversation, with one of my clients who has done ocean cruising, and she loves her butler. You know who I'm talking about. You're watching this. I know you are. And she's like, how does anybody cruise without a butler? And I'm like, well, some people do, but why would you want to? So you have butler service, but your ships are all
butler service.
All butlers. So there's no different.
There's no. So the beauty of Scenic is that we are ultra luxury, ultra inclusive.
Okay.
So everything is included. We don't even take a credit card when you check in. The guests come no credit card because there's nothing extra to pay for except your spa treatments.
Okay.
So
I'm a spa girl, so you'll take my credit card.
Not at the beginning. We don't.
But the spa will take it.
At the very end, you'll have a bill, and if you had a spa treatment, you'll pay it then.
Okay.
But everything's included. That would be all of our excursions are included. There's no additional excursions to pay for. Everything, multiple excursions per port. Butler service in every category. Even the entry level has some degree of butler service. So the butler services do increase a little bit as you move up to the different suites. But every suite class.
But you're all suites, correct?
Yes, we're all
and there's
suite.
No inside cabins.
No inside
Everyone's
cabins.
got a balcony.
We have some Riverview, not a lot down there, but they still have butler service, Riverview. But then the majority is balconies.
Okay. And Riverview is just a lower deck.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Oh, so there's no balcony. It's just
the
window.
It's a window.
Okay.
So just a river view, and it's going to be kind of a little bit higher window.
Got it.
But yeah, no balcony on those. But great price point. Still
get a
all
butler.
Inclusive. Still have a butler. Still have specialty dining. Still have all your excursions. Still all your gratuities, your airport transfers, your Wi-Fi.
It really is all inclusive.
Everything.
Okay. So when you have a butler, and I've done on an ocean cruise, we had a cabin one time that had a butler. And honestly, she was the nicest woman, but I didn't know what to do with her because I'm a pretty down to earth person, and I don't know what to do. What do you do with your butler? Because you've sailed with your brand quite a bit. You always get a butler. What are the things that people don't think of to ask your butler to do?
Really, anything. Any questions you have, the butler's there. They will give you a number that you can call if you need anything. Room service, you'll call the butler because we do have room service until midnight.
Okay.
The laundry, if you have free laundry, the butler takes care of that. You have everyone gets one bag of laundry a week. Butler takes care of that. As soon as you board the ship, your butler will bring you to your room, give you a tour of your room, show you where all the light switches, because sometimes there's a million light switches and you don't know what they're for.
I can't figure out the light switches.
They will give you a tutorial over your. So they'll do that. None of our specialty dining restaurants require reservations. We have an Italian Portobello's is one of our specialty dining restaurants. Everybody will receive an invite once for their week-long sailing, and you'll have an invitation that your butler will deliver for the next evening. So you'll know the evening before you dine and that. Really just, they know you, they'll see you around ship. That's the beauty of small ship cruising too. They know you. Everybody on the ship will know you, and they know where you live. And the crew is outstanding on all of our ships.
So tell me a little bit, what is the typical experience like? Because it is a smaller ship, and for those, again, that have done ocean cruising but not the river cruising, on the ocean cruising, you've got the main dining room, you've got the buffet, you've got lots of lounges, big show entertainment, maybe a casino. What would the experience be like on a smaller ship like this? Because everything is on a much smaller scale.
Much more
what can they expect?
Yes, much more intimate, much more attention to detail.
Okay.
Much more. They will know you by name. You won't get that on some of the big ships.
Right.
But the all-inclusiveness is something that's. Once you go small with the all-inclusive, you will not have a desire probably to go back to the larger. And I was a big ship girl too before, so yes. So it's just a day in the life. I got off track and forgot what the question was.
As far as dining and entertainment.
Yes.
Like, what is there to do?
So the dining. So we have 5 dining experiences on board. We have the room service, which I mentioned. We have our crystal dining room, which is going to be the main dining room.
Okay.
That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast and lunch is going to be buffet, and there's also an a la carte menu.
Okay.
So you can do either or both. All of our drinks, the beverages are included all day, every day. So not just lunch and dinner. You're going to have wine, beer, cocktails, coffees, soda
Okay.
all day, every day.
So you can get your mimosa with breakfast
Yes,
if you want.
exactly,
Oh, perfect.
yes.
Okay.
That's the crystal dining, and then I mentioned the portobellos, which is our
Right.
specialty dining. That's once a week, and then we have a river cafe up on our panorama lounge that's grab and go. And there's
Okay.
also kind of a smaller buffet lunch up there. I
Okay.
love that area. It's floor to ceiling windows. It's great to just watch as you sail down,
Right.
the river. And then our fifth is the Table La Rive, and that's going to be reserved for our Royal Suite guests and
Okay.
Junior Suite guests, and that's a 3-hour that's our chef's table
Got
basically.
it.
So
Okay.
3-hour wine pairing with each course. All of that's included in
That's
the
for
cost
the
of the
foodies.
cruise.
Oh, it's
Yes,
included.
everything
oh,
is included.
Chef's tables. But you have
For
to
the
pay
royal,
for it during
it's
the
for
suite.
the royal. It's royal suite, junior suites, and royal suites.
Got
We'll
it.
also get an
Okay.
invitation to that, so they'll have the two specialty.
So it's
dining.
included only at that level.
Right, the Table.
If someone's not in those, are they able to pay to
No.
attend?
No.
Okay, so there's some exclusivity there.
Right.
Okay.
For the suite, the upper level suite.
Got
Yes.
it. Okay.
Yes.
Well, there's nothing wrong with exclusivity.
Exactly. And everybody gets the portobellos. The others, 30
Right.
to only 32 guests a night in the
Okay.
evening. So that's why there's every night a new group
Yeah.
of guests will be in there, and that's included.
Oh,
too.
very cool. Very cool. And then as far as entertainment, they have lounges.
Entertainment, we have a main lounge, and there's always something going on in the evenings. So it could be trivia, it could be a disco party. Sometimes we'll bring, we have Scenic and Rich experiences and Scenic and Rich programs that we will bring maybe entertainers from the local port in, and they'll perform, and then they'll get off before we sail out. So sometimes we bring them on board. Once a week we'll have a Scenic and Rich experience, again included in the cruise, almost always in a castle or a palace. There's almost always
okay.
champagne, opera singers, symphonies, so, and that's all included, and it's just for your group that you're sailing, or your sailing mates, I guess I should say.
Okay, your
So
shipmates.
it's just your ship.
Okay.
It's just your ship. Only
Yeah.
that experience, and that's something very special. I look around. I just love those because they're just. It's one of those wow moments. Like, why? How am I doing this? And it's
Right.
something that's included. So.
Okay, awesome. So for anyone that has done ocean cruising but has never done the river, what are, let's just say, the top 2 things that because you've done both, you used to be a travel advisor just like me, and you said you were a big ship girl. So what are 2 things that someone who is considering moving from ocean to river that they should know, that they might not have known?
One thing and this is the very first time because remember I was a big ship girl, and one of my favorite things on the big ships is sitting on the balcony and just smelling the salt air and the feeling and hearing the waves. I just love that. Or the back of the ship. I love seeing the back of the ship.
Right.
And I didn't know how I'd feel about river cruising, but it's a completely different, unique experience. I sat on my balcony and we were sailing down the river, and I heard a dog bark, and I was like, but it was so calming. And then I know, and then I could smell what some of the somebody was cooking or baking, because it was something sweet, and I smelled that. It's just a whole different experience, and and I could see the star. I mean, just like on the ocean.
Yeah.
It kind of surprised me because I wasn't expecting that, but you're just so immersed in the local cultures, and when you pull in the center of town, which this is a great surprise too, you are so close to everything. It's tents in a small ship, remember, so no lines to get off or on, 10 steps, and you're usually in the heartbeat of the city.
Right.
So you are right there immediately in the local culture, fully immersed in it. You're participating in their traditions, you're tasting their foods, and it's just the tours that are included are fully immersive tours, and it's not just a walking tour. Some of the tours you get on the larger ships are 100 people could be with you.
Right. Get on the motor coach, on the bus, off the bus.
So that I think is something that maybe you don't think about, but having a tour with 10 or 15 people is just amazing.
Yeah, it's a whole different experience.
It really is.
Okay. So I know a lot of people, when they hear river cruising, they have the perception of the whole challenge with water levels. The water's too high, the water's too low, we can't pass, we can't sail. Obviously you guys have this down to a science. You've been doing this a long time. There's a lot of ships on the river. They know how to handle it, but kind of talk us through very briefly, what are the protocols and how often does it really happen? Is it really that big of a deal?
It's not, it used to be, but I know infrastructure wise in the different countries, they're fixing that. So I know, and I can give you Danube experience because I've been on it so many times. If you, all the way down to Passau, it's something with their lock system. I'm not exactly sure of all the technical whys, but they fixed it to where the water levels do not fluctuate as much as they used to. And at Passau, that's the only place, that's kind of where they stopped doing it. And there's usually one stop past that is Regensburg. That's the end of the Danube, upper Danube sailing. If you're going to stop, it's going to be there. And in Regensburg is a 45-minute coach ride, so you can still get to that port, and then so it doesn't disrupt the service. You still have the same excursions. The captains know if that's happening well in advance, so they can adjust. And like you said, they have a plan. They know how to put it into place. Most of the time, the guests do not even realize it. Worst case scenario, if you had to switch ships so that you could go, they may get you off of your ship, put you on a coach, take you to another ship. All your luggage, everything's moved. You'll be in the same cabin. It'll be, and it's just seamless. The guests again won't even really realize, except it'll be a different ship name. That doesn't happen very often at all. So that would be a worst case scenario. But I wouldn't worry. It's kind of like, hurricane season is there, but you still go on the ocean. You just kind of go with the flow. You'll still have a great vacation.
It's like I tell my clients all the time, pack your patience.
Yes, take your patience pill.
That's part of the joy of traveling, is experiencing the unexpected. My husband and I, we cruise a lot, and we used to joke. We had one that was the lemonade cruise, because everything that could go wrong went wrong. And at every opportunity, we're like, okay, well, it is what it is. Let's just make the best of it. And we still refer to that as the lemonade cruise.
I love that.
It was crazy, but you know what? It was an experience. We've gone back and done that same itinerary, and it was not a lemonade cruise. But we've got great experience from the lemonade cruise. So, okay, so now I'm going to do some off-the-cuff lightning round for you. Okay, you're totally not prepared for this. So first thing that comes to mind, of all the rivers, which one are you most excited about doing that you have not done?
I would probably say the Bordeaux region, because I would love to learn. I love wines. I've done wine tastings, but I would love to be in the region and really learn from the experts in France.
So the one that you have done 5 times,
the Danube.
Do you have a favorite port that you really look forward to every time you've done that one?
I love Vienna. There's so much to see and do in Vienna, and it's beautiful, and the people are so kind and nice, and the food is great. I think probably Vienna is one of my favorites. Okay,
and the $1 million question, Christmas markets, is it the real deal or is it overhyped?
It is the real deal. And I have not done the full Christmas market sailing yet. I was on the Danube in mid-November, and ironically, I just mentioned Vienna, but Vienna, it was the very first day that one of their largest markets opened, and so I was able to see it on the first day, and it was magical. Only one, and that's only one. I just in some of the smaller cities you'll get into, they'll still be, everything will be Christmas. It's the smells, it's the sights, it's the sound, it's the cold, and it's everything about it. I think it's just a magical time. Okay, and for those that are curious, little known fact, Vienna has more Christmas markets than any other city. So a lot of people associate Christmas markets, we have to go to Germany. No, Vienna has more Christmas markets than any other port. Which is on the Danube. So you heard it straight from Jill. Christmas markets, Vienna on the Danube with Scenic. Yes. Awesome. So do you have any closing words that you want to share? Anything that we haven't talked about in our Portside Conversation in the Port of Amsterdam? I love it that you're here live. I love it that we're here. We would love to host you on one of our ships. Ultra luxury, ultra inclusive. You're gonna love that butler and never want to go without again. I'm gonna have to Google what to do with your butler. Although I don't know, that might not be a good thing to Google. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for your time. I really appreciate it. And for those of you that enjoyed my Portside Conversation with Jill from Scenic,
Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. And stay tuned, there'll be more Portside Conversations coming up. Thanks again for watching. I'm Laura Lee with Where To Next Agency. Have a great day.